And then oh my gosh. Have I not changed the thumb? That's something that needs to be done. Delete that message. Turn up my own audio for the game. I think at this point I just need to delete the number on the stream. Motherfucker, I am. Alright, just gonna give a moment for everyone to come in if they want to. You reached your number of free usage. Unlock and load use of this AI-based feature. I might just remove MEE6's or Me6's connection to my channel and just do it myself. And I think it'd be better than how it's been doing it. Or maybe I can do something to limit its responses to me where in that channel it doesn't reply. Yes, hello, Maxwell. I hope you're having a good day. My arms are tired. Like, I'm a little surprised by how tired they actually feel right now. Then again, I feel like they might not be tired enough. Yeah, I'm still able to wave my arms around. Can't believe you saved 4 orphans at the gym after being your PR in the middle of the night. Yeah, bro. Yeah, no. You know, I completely forgot all about that. Yeah, man, I can't believe I did that. You know, if there's any female journalists out there with tons of money who wants to interview me about the event, I guess I could talk about it. But I'd really want to talk more about you. Yeah, I got there and like there's a fire and I was just like, what the? Well, no, I got there. Everyone's outside. And like, all right, either someone didn't show up to their shift to open up the gym, or like there's a fire alarm. Turns out it's a fire alarm. Every time I go to the gym, it's arm day, but it's always the same thing: chest and triceps. I do not care about doing biceps. I'd rather have triceps. And I do not do low weight, high reps because I do not care about definition of the muscles. All I care about is strength. So I do high weight, low reps. And every day is like that. That's neat and fair. Yep. All right, I'm gonna start. All right. So we are on Of Gaze is Cool and Temper's Hot. I'll bump up my own game audio real quick. All right. So you got the artist girl back. I'm a little surprised that she's like the main one. Like, I think she's the only one I'm seeing so far that gets like a whole chapter to herself again. So I do wonder, like, why? Part of me has always been taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and booking it and boarding it without looking back. Or, in your current case, stowing away without looking back. Details. Hello, Demon Zuri. Just in time. I'm starting up chapter 9. Or 8. Numbers no good. The idea has always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey. The wind in your hair and the taste of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial landscape, but then you've always liked to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences. Not to mention new friends. In practice, though, this tastes less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. It's not like the slime that was in Skyla's Recupercoon. Except that slime was weirdly soothing. This is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping into some sort of cargo carriage. Oh, how wrong you've been. The trail for not being caught, then maimed and or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred the maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. As Daja and Amicia. Question mark Amicia. Interest. Yeah, we'll do the blue blood first. Your gown flares around you as you hop off the train. You feel like a very grim Disney princess with no shoes. Just a deranged Cinderella who left both glass slippers on the castle steps. Before you can... Man, I wish my model could dab, because I'd be dabbing like back and forth so much right now. Every time the air horn goes off, I'd be dabbing. Take me back to 2016, where this was me. Before you decide which direction can you marry John, it's decided for you. As in, a small bluish missile slams into your midsection and sends you tumbling down the hill behind the train tracks, rolling over and over, and god damn do you hope you don't kill anyone with your ass, especially not yourself. You land with a hard thwack on your back. Hey, it is you. The concussion you just sustained must be giving you serious friend hallucinations. Sorry I hugged you so hard I pushed you down a hill. Forgot how weak and flimsy you are. You take Amicia's offered hand, albeit nervously. You kind of skipped out on her back there, waiting until she was in ablution trap and then escaping from a murder studio. You've been so naive back then. You didn't know about cocoons or grub cakes or hate dating, and oh god, that is a giant murder clown, isn't it? See, this is one of my favorite songs, but not my favorite of the novel. I'm trying to remember this one. I have no recollection. Don't worry. Next, it's a good one. Oh, she. Casually moving on. Wow. She's even bigger than the adult you saw at the Bandolier? God, why? Why, whenever you think you've met the biggest, meanest bastard this place has to offer, it offers up another bigger, meaner one? While thinking, put yourself between Amicia and the Purple Blood. Pretty dumb considering Amicia can pick you up with one hand, but you just roll down a hill and you aren't at peak performance. Shahoot! It's about time. This is the one I was telling you about. The one of the precious, precious blood. Hi, how are you? Oh, Purple Blood slow. Lazy smile somehow makes her face paint even more terrifying. She moseys closer, towering over you. A true pleasure, small thing. Any friend of Little Blue is a friend of mine. Especially one who looks so pretty on the news page of my scrapbook. Take me to a clown church. Your stomach is dissolving into acid fear. Amicia stamps her foot. Don't make murder jokes. My friend is very delicate. You know, seriously, you are so delicate. Just a whiff of murder gives you the vapors. Peace and gospel, Little Blue. I was only playing. Messiahs know I'm owed a bit of fun. And ain't it a bit hypocritical lecturing me? Considering what you were getting up to the first time and you and I got John ripping off heads and all. Amicia goes blue. Chahuts winks and you experience another spasm of fear. You clutch your fists so she can't see your hands are shaking. To distract yourself, you ask her if she and Amicia are Moiriles. Figure that's always the safest one to start with. Safer than, so do you guys hate fuck a lot? Chahoot starts grinning again, and Amicia blushes even harder. I don't need that, just that I need this. No, silly, of course not. I'm way too young for quadrants. Know a couple motherfuckers as started younger than you, Little Blue. Still, there's no point. I mean, you're leaving a couple pedigrees. Amicia stares at the ground sadly for a second before she gets herself back together. But that's why tonight is going to be the best. Our final hunt. I'm so glad you're here too. She beams up at you. You try to smile back. Maybe achieve half a grimace. When Chahuts leans over Amicia, it's with a certain menacing fondness. Oh. Sounds like a party, my most vicious sister. Only we got us a smidge of a scheduling conflict. Huh? The maskers tonight, Little Blue. Last masker I'll see planet side. Gotta present my glutes and testify before my most mirthful messiahs for the last time. You sure you didn't get any of that? Every time you think your days of unbound ignorance are behind you, you turn over a stone to find more little squaring bits of cultural miasma to suck in. Amicia rolls her eyes. More church? That's seriously all you ever do. Sister, we talked about this. To praise the mirthful ones is a privilege and a revelation. My pusher beats for them. It smashes its way through the desolate cage of my thoracic struts. Yeah, I know. You love clown shirts. You love so much you just put in a quadrant. Jesus, Amicia, maybe you shouldn't shout at the scary giant clown lady. Chahoot puts a giant hand on Amicia's head, ruffling her hair like she's an angry puppy. Simmer right down, girl. Good news is, we got us a tiebreaker. She means you, doesn't she? More decisions. Usually we strive for it, but today, it's all up to you, stranger. Take me to clown church. If I say church sucks, I'm dead, alright? That's where we're gonna speedrun that option real quick. Religious stuff is kind of over your head, but besides, you really should stick with a friend who has vested interest in keeping you alive, rather than the menacing non-committal clown lady. All of your recent experiences, Purple Blood's gone, well, bad. You are so right. See, Chahoot? My friend is no dummy. Chahoot's eyes sail. Why do you do this? Down. I will pick you up down. I'm leading the cat. I'm trying to lead the cat with my finger. Alright, I gotta get out of the chair real quick. I think as soon as I move the chair, she'll go down. No, she's being... Chahoot's eyes gleam, and for one eerie moment, you think she's gonna reach down and crush Amicia's skull, or yank out your windpipe, or some other mega violence. But instead, she just shrugs her giant shoulders. Well, that's what happens when you allow for the democratic process. She's gonna crush you. Lead the way. Crap, that's right. If you're going to church, you're going on a final hunt. And knowing Amicia, you aren't going to be duck hunting. Also, you don't think the splatters on Chahoot's pants are paint? Well, they are paint, but Amicia style paints. Yay, come on, quick. I got something to show you. She takes off up the steep hill back toward the train tracks. Oh man, you're seriously not dressed for all this clamoring. Chahoot appears to notice this too, because a few steps later, your feet leave the ground and you find yourself cradled to the considerable bosom of a large clown. Up close, she smells like sugar and blood. Ah yes, fuego. No struggling now, sweet thing. Better pray that I don't drop you. Oh, I forgot. You don't pray, because church sucks. You don't like this? Well, you like not having to walk, and it's pretty cool that she can lift you like you're a tiny baby. But also, you're probably gonna die. You're so busy freaking the fuck out that at first you didn't realize that Chahoot has carried you past the train tracks to a stand of trees. Oh no. Ta-da! Amicia gestures like she's a presenter on a game show, but instead of showing you a dope new car, she points to a boy hanging from a rope by his feet, swinging back and forth as he desperately tries to free himself. Chahoot, you were so right. Using traps is a total time saver. It's all about those life hacks. And other kind of hacks. She lifts her axe, the troll hanging from the tree screams, and that scream becomes a gurgle, which becomes ringing silence as his head leaves his body. Spewing blood, brown blood, it rolls to stop right at your feet. Oh god. You've had enough of this horse shit. Why can't anyone on this goddamn planet find an ounce of chill? Amicia and Chahoot watch you expectantly. What do they want you to kick the head like this is sports? Give it a smooch? You know what? Fuck this. You turn and stalk off into the woods. This time you're orchestrating your own failure. Alright. Of course, the game wants you to learn more about clown shirts and the jiggles. Take me to clown shirts. You don't know much about religion, but you have recently become pretty good at reading people. You have the slightest little suspicion that insulting this woman's religion might be unhealthy. Besides, it'd be rude. This time, when Chahoot turns her painted face to you and gives you another one of those lazy smiles, you're filled with a sudden flush of excitement. God, what if you could become friends with her? You've never had a friend this cool or this scary. Amicia rolls her eyes. Fine. Have fun, I guess. Doing totally boring stuff. I wonder if it's really okay for you to come with Chahoot? Isn't she worried about showing up with an alien? In the past, I might have gotten to worry over it. But now, fuck it. What are they about to do? Call me? Might thank them for that. Doing a sister assault and saving me from having to set foot in the filthy reaches of space. Where I hear they don't allow the good word as close as they should. None of the motherfuckers here have the globs to step on me. So you should be safe. With me on your side, not even one of those slippery fishes would do shit. Slippery fish. Oh. Yeah. The sea people. Fuck the sea people. Oh, slippery fishes. Does she mean sea dwellers? We've never actually seen one, which makes sense since they dwell in the sea. Most people seem to be scared of them. You wonder how much higher in caste they are from the clowns. What do they look like? There are still so many things you don't know. You've ever been in a church before? But you've seen them in movies and goth music videos, so you know what to expect. Clown Church is not that. Remind me. The church of these clown guys was somewhat taken over by Lord English, but it was something else before. But it was like, what is it? Is it co-op or whatever? Manipulated, I guess, towards Lord English, but there was a religion, but then it started turning more towards like deification. It's literally just Insane Clown Posse. So they saw an Insane Clown Posse video and it was sent their way. Is that what happens? That was just Gamzee, I think. Okay. Magnets, how do they work? Just Gamzee affected by Lord English, but the clowns and alternatives all Insane Clown Posse. Okay, so they worship they worship. Oh, but they use all the lingo. Okay. There are no pews or statues or that dude hanging from two perpendicular sticks, but there's an altar and a lot of purple candles and rows of flimsy metal fold-out chairs. The same sugary smell that hangs around Chahut fills the room. Someone took stained glass a little too seriously when they decored, because every inch of window is covered in multicolored... Oh god, why even front anymore? Every inch is covered in blood, splatters of it paint the floor and stone walls. It reminds you of that break room after Connie got done murdering all those kids. Except this seems deliberate. Like they decided they wanted a little bit of the yellow in the corners, so they walked some poor gold blood over there and gutted them. Welcome to your salvation, little one. You almost run out, but no, you can't. You need to make friends with Chahut. You hang on to that as you follow her to the front of the congregation. As you pass, various other clowns send out honks of greetings, accompanied by the occasional whoop whoop. Chahut responds to a couple of casual, hey motherfuckers, but she ignores most. Maybe she's too cool for them? You try not to make eye contact with anyone as you go by, or if you happen to look at anyone, you try to throw out the most intense, I'm with her vibe that you can. Couple turtles look as out of place as you do. Okay, not as out of place, since they're actually from this planet. But there are some non-purpley guys here who look distinctly uncomfortable. A few of them appear to be chained to their chairs. Cool. A purple is standing on a platform at the front of the congregation and preaching. Rapping? Whatever it is, it sucks. There's a lot of uninventive swearing and weirdly syncopathic honks. Everyone here is extremely into it. There's a lot of answering whoops and fuck yes. What I find kind of amusing and how the windows have squigglies that resemble the Rage God tier icon might be a coincidence. All Chahut has to do is stand there and smirk at him, and he trails off to a nasally honk for scrambling off the church stage. You really wish you knew how to command that kind of respect. Then everybody would want to be your friend. Thanks, brothers and sisters. Today is a singular sort of day. For today I look up toward the mountain and saw the fire in the sky. That fire is our Messiah, and our Messiahs are the fire, feeding a hungry forge in the belly of hell. That sweet salvation of split bone and sulfur-colored eyes. Was it the heat of eternal damnation, or the sweet flame of revelation? All is red ruin. Woe is us, darlings. Woe. It goes on like that for a while. You zone out a little bit. Someone throws a handful of powder onto the candle flames, and more of that sugary, sharp scent puffs out as a colorful smoke billows up. Purple ones all start taking deep whiffs of the stuff. Kind of looks like the powder and pixie sticks. Oh my gosh. Newest member of our congregation. Pixie sticks. Maybe that's why it smells like sugar in here. Invite them to stand up and give glorious thanks. The whole congregation has gone silent. You realize that Shahat is looking at you, and the other clown priest is looking at you. Actually, every single goddamn troll in here is looking at you. Except for one small dude who appears to be trying to chew off his own hand to free himself from his shackles. Your turn to testify. Don't fuck this up, little one. Well, I want to say wimp out's actually the right option. We're going to go preach. Let's do bad route first. Oh. Oh, shit. So, what I would do is I'd give one long ass honk. And I would say the Fuego needs to run free. One visceral, guttural honk, and then saying the Fuego needs to go free, I think is what I'd say. If I had the ability to down a Fuego in front of them, I would do it. But if I was actually kidnapped by ICP, I don't fucking know. Because I don't know anything about them. All I know is the weird shit I've seen Gamzee and these fuckers do right now. I can't rap for shit. I think they'd love the intensity of the honk and then let the Fuego run free. I think they'd also vibe with real hard. But after that, it's like, you got nothing else? It's like, what else can I know besides what I need? Which is honk, Fuego. Fuego. What? They want you to talk. About what? All that stuff the Hut and the other tools were saying, it sounded like a bunch of bullshit. Whoop whoops, the actual green clowns, and they even have their own gang symbol. Oh boy. Whoop whoop, sound of the police. So that's what you give them. Just bullshit. Reams and reams of fresh, non-GMO cave age bullshit. Honestly, you aren't totally sure what you say. Oh my gosh, just close your renegade. Oh my god. Okay, I need to dedicate one day or like a few days to just memorizing the whole like 3 to 5 minute argument he has with himself at the start of like episode, I think 12 or 10. I think if I did that, I think I could fit in with most insane people. Maybe some stuff about parting the sea, loaves and fishes, a dome and a rock. You throw a couple of whoop whoops in there for effect. Hoping nobody accuses you of cultural appropriation. Luckily, the crowd is feeding it. They all honk and echo what you say. Even the cultural illusions they can't possibly understand. They take turns sweeping Fuego from the communal chalice. Oh yeah, they got a communal chalice? Yeah, okay. Passing it around. Now this can go two way. If you down the chalice and you're new, you could possibly get the argument if anyone gets angry. It's like, brothers, I have a lifetime worth to catch up to you. Let me have this. You might be able to get away with that. You can't help glancing over to Hut every so often. Sure, all these weirdos are catching from what you're throwing, but she's the one whose opinion you actually care about. She's your current friendship target. She's nodding approval, occasionally crossing your hands over her chest in what looks kind of like a gang symbol, but maybe just a religious gesture. Why not both? You finish with something about foxes and the jaws of the universe. The convergence. Now I'm just remembering the fucking rap off that Gamzee and Dave had. And fuck, what's his name? I got this. Torval? Yeah. Where each one was like, the author would always say, oh yeah, they had one of the most intense rap-offs, but it was always like one of the shittiest rap-offs. You've heard something about foxes and the jaws of the universe, the convergence of fate, and the cyclical nature of reality, times a flat circle. You think you're actually filled with spirit. Whatever the fuck that means. It could just be that weird smoke. Knew I didn't make a mistake when I put you my faith in you, little one. She pushes several dudes out of the way to lean over you. You don't feel fear now so much as intense pride. Damn. It feels good to have 50 clowns honking at you for pulling something straight out of your ass. That's how the rap-offs usually works. Little one is kind of creepy and you wish you'd stop saying it, but you guess it's accurate. You are little compared to her, and there's only one of you. Come here, darling. Wait, what? Oh, that's an upgrade. Darling, that's friendly. Get up here. What? Up? How? Two younger bloodbloods grab you by the legs. Oh. The shirt sways around you and you find yourself at clown height, face to face with Chahut. Up close, you can see the cracks in her makeup, and it might be the light in here, but her yellow eyes look tinted purple. She pulls you close, one giant claw tipping your chin up. She's so close. She leans in and your whole body flashes hot. Oh god, this? You brace for those big clown lips. Instead, Chahut clamps her hand over your mouth. You jerk as your air supply is promptly cut off. The clown's holding you up, stagger until you remember that you can breathe through your nose. No! You see something out of your peripheral vision, and then something sticky and cold is sprayed onto your cheeks. And a straight extent making you choke. You struggle, but the clowns don't let you go. Chahut sprays something on the other side of your face. You feel it's sinking tacky and stinging into the skin of your cheeks. She releases you for a moment and switches the can of spray paint to her other hand. What the hell? That you were supposed to be used on skin? Probably not. Hold still, darling. There's also something ICP clowns have done. Where they can't get face paint and spray paint. And they spray paint on their face. Nice. Takes another can from a nearby troll and paints a line across her forehead. Her own brow furrowing in concentration. You know what she's doing? She's baptizing you, covering you in the paint of her people. You're being initiated. You can hardly believe it. Tears ran at the corner of your eyes as you realize you are actually becoming a part of a group. Someone on this terrible planet is actually letting you into their inner circle. Even if it is a circle of shitty clowns who go murdering people and drinking the worst soda in the galaxy. Don't get too overcome now, small thing. I don't really even know what you are or where something like you came from. I can feel the spirit flowing through those alien veins of yours. It's fucking godly, little one. Amazing. This is so good. Anyone who initiates you into their weird cult definitely wants to get all up in your friendship grill. Chahut paints another line, this time over your nose. The paint is starting to sting. The paint on your forehead especially. Oh, wait, that's not paint, that's... Chahut drops the spray can. She's looking at her fingers. Oh no, you've seen that expression before. On someone bluer and much shorter. Deep crimson run down her claw. After weeks of rainbow blood, your own blood color looks strange to you. Now that you think about it, it's been a while since you've seen your own blood. Wild. You must be getting better survival instincts. Precious blood. Precious indeed, sister. The two other purple bloods put you down with subservient honks. Both of the other clowns here treat Chahut with a reverence bordering on awe. Is it because she's the oldest or the largest? Or maybe just the most badass? Your feet barely hit the floor before Chahut takes you by the hand. You smile up at her, happy to go anywhere she leads. Friendship feels so good, especially with people who are bigger and stronger and cooler than you are, which is basically everyone on this planet. but Chahud is especially strong and cool. You're so busy feel great about your new elite stats that at first you don't realize what's happening. Where Chahud is leading you, it's the corner of the church has a little more bare than other spots. As in, there isn't as much blood. As in, it's the perfect canvas for some fresh blood. Some precious mutant blood. You don't know why Chahud didn't go for you right when you met. Maybe the time wasn't right. Maybe the side of your red stuff has triggered something in her murdered troll hindbrain. Regardless, you get the feeling you're about to be reunited with the color of your blood quite suddenly and thoroughly. Wait, you thought you were getting initiated? Hell yeah. You're an initiate, my dazzling crimson darling. An initiate's the rarest and most laudable power. A blood initiate. A sacrificial ball beast. You ain't gonna get a better offer than that. Well, when she puts it like that, nope, you would still rather not die. Wimp out. You stand there in the cacophony of honks and whoops trying to dredge up a little spirit inside you, but you just can't. All that noise sounds so much like deering, and you think you have gotten used to negative reinforcement. Apparently it's still enough to trip you up. You open your mouth and all that comes out is a croak like you're a frog. A frog of failure. Big hand lands on your shoulder. She looks wistful through the clown paint. That's okay, hon. Sit down before you strain something. Encased in a wag of shame, you do. God, why couldn't you have kept it together for once in your pathetic life? The clown next to you gives you a consoling pat on the knee and offers you a halfway empty bottle of Fuego. You were so despondent that you barely cast a thought to Juggalo germs or the fact that Fuego is disturbing. It hits your taste buds like a bitch slap. Around you, congregation getting rowdier. The troll beside you shrugs his shoulders like, yeah, what can you do? He has a hat and a charming smile. That kind of reminds me of because they can be chill. They're just so intense at times, but yeah, they're mostly chill. Like like all my only point of reference is Gamzee, and like it does feel like something where if you weren't feeling it, or like, you know, it was like just going with the flow. If you ain't got the flow, then he's not gonna really push it on, you know? Again, that's just because my only reference is Gamzee with this whole clown thing. He has a head and a charming smile. At least you think he does. I'm starting to feel a little weird. Most clowns are harmless unless you're around them at the wrong time. Yeah. Like that's just all I saw, whereas Games was really just harmless and just kind of just there. I mean, the only time apparently he got kind of murder happy was during their fight of the Black King and Queen, I believe. But then, like, it just kind of, like, it happened and then just stopped. Like you said, wrong time for that person. You're starting to feel a little weird. Fuego isn't an alcoholic, is it? I would go easy on that stuff if I were you, Patrol says. His hand hasn't left your leg. In fact, it's moved from your knee to your thigh. Well, the first time is always rough. Whatever, you're fine. You know all about controlled substances. You're just really good at drugs, okay? You're a serious drugger. A druggeist? A drugational. Professional, even with drugs. Real though, what is in this stuff? You got high with Saravo and tipsy Chixie. How that rhymes. She should put that in her next rap, but this is different. So is this another one where it seems a bad ending for Chixie? I have concocted the most devious image. What have you done? The cum chalice. Like it's the Fuego chalice. which some would argue is worse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're pinning that. Oh. I forgot what he even said in that video. It's been so long since I've seen the original thing. All I've seen is just Pub and Chalice. That's it. Oh, Yandere Dev. I think if he wasn't developing a game, but was just someone who kept saying weird stuff, I think he'd be living a better life, honestly. Congratulations to you, username. A toast as he drinks his milk. Yep. Because was that something he was just like that was a prompt and people could fill it in essentially? Or was that kind of the origin of the video where he did multiple takes of that? Or was it just that that's what the line was? It's just that we don't remember the name and the thing we're toasting for. Yeah, no. There was like 3 years ago, I think 3 or 2 years ago, where Yandere Dev was just releasing videos of him saying some really cringy but just funny stuff. And like I remember seeing it just being thrown around. And no, it was funny. It was cringy, but it was like genuinely funny. And also they were very short. Like it was something someone did for Champ pre Yandere Dev days. Okay. Yeah. It was interesting to learn that Yandere Dev's code isn't bad. Because everyone is working with industry standards, but if you're the only one working on it, it doesn't matter. And yeah, you can optimize code, but The big thing that's affecting this game was just the models, as I've learned. Because as long as he can find everything, it doesn't really matter. Yes, the True Fresh that had like what, 5? Was it 1 million or 5 million polygons? It was something ridiculous. And then I also remember hearing someone comment about making the new Dwarf Fortress, where, you know, the one that just got released on Steam, and how they brought someone in, I believe a girl. They brought in a girl who had been making mods for a long time for the community. And what she did was she went through the code and she said, oh, you would think that someone who has been doing this project all this time, you know, their code wouldn't be too messy. But if you're someone who's been working on this for so long, you have to write notes and make sure things are understandable to you so that future you can work on it. And that they had mentioned that a lot of, what's it called? Open source programs were nowhere near as tidy as this. There's a lot of open source programs that weren't as tidy as the Dwarf Fortress code, because anyone can do anything to it. And so if you make a fix, you could send it out, but that doesn't mean you wrote any notes or anything about how something works and all that. It was a model for up close renders in photographic 5 million polygon. Wait, but that rhyme, she's putting it. Oh, this is interesting, where they assume, where it's like it gives you the idea that both endings happen, the one where you get tipsy of Trixie, but also that the rap happens. I think I mentioned this with Polypaw, where they kind of mix endings together, or you're supposed to just take it as both events happened, but ultimately take it so that the good ending occurred. So like at some point you got tipsy with Trixie, but the rap still occurred, so you hung out for afterwards, because it seems like you usually hang out with the person for the whole week or whatever. I assume that's how the time works, where it's each week is like you meet them on like day 1 or 2, whatever, and then you hang out with them throughout the rest of the week or whatever time. Like you meet them on Monday, hang out with them until Thursday, then Thursday through Sunday, that's your adventures with that other person. But usually you only see like the first few hours of that friendship and then just keeps going. But yeah, with this one, they're more deliberately saying that like, oh yeah, you still saw the rap with Trixie. Like she still did that whole thing, but also you got tipsy for at some points. Get high with Sarava and tipsy with Trixie. Ha, that rhymes. She put that in her next rap. But this is different. This is your brain blowing wide open and the atmosphere pouring in. This is the cosmos kissing your frontal lobe with way too much tongue. Hey, this is my supplicant. Maybe find your own. Jahut is standing next to you again. He removes the clown guy's hand from your thigh and extricates the bottle from your grip. Hey, you weren't done with that. On the other side of the church, someone throws another handful of colorful powder in the fire. More smoke billows up, and you feel another wave of dizziness. And here's the interaction with the fuego and the smoke. I think you're just suffering a sugar high, my guy. I think you might have just given yourself diabetes and then hit withdrawal in the moment of just how hard that sugar high hits you. This is a 1-to-1 of what drinking fuego is. I drink I think I drink essentially an off-brand of the off-brand. I drink Ohana, I think. Or that's what they call the fruit punch version, at least. As someone from the Midwestern states, I confirm that fuego is... Oh no, I know it's real. I've seen it in the quick trips before. Give me a second, I'm gonna look something up. Fuego mixes. Oh no, I drink fuego. Yep. So I'll tell you a fun story. Back when I was in high school, I would eat a lot at a gas station called Quick Trip because like they had really cheap food. Like you can get like 2 burgers for like $3. You can fill up on gas. And I would always get an Ohana, which is just the fruit punch name for fuego, and fuego does have a lot of sugar in it. Like I would not be surprised as with how much I drink it that I have like pre-diabetes if not already have it, just don't know. I guess you could kind of tell, but apparently like what, a third of Americans is pre-diabetic. Some ridiculous amount that Russian Badger shared. Someone from the 13th precedence of the 13th Mexico, I wish I could try it at least once. Yeah? No. Then again, when you're young, your body's just able to handle everything. just last year, root beer arrived here. Didn't know that thing was so minty though. It was going to be more. Just last year, root beer arrived here. Didn't know that thing was so minty though. It was going to be. Thought it was going to be more caramel-esque. I think to achieve that kind of flavor, that's a because there's a brand of root beer called 1919, and that is like the premier root beer, at least here in the Midwest, or Minnesota, I should say. I forgot, because there's like Barks, there's Mug, and then there's 1919. Oh, the A&W. I think they use Mug. I think they use I can check that real quick. Does a No, okay, no, it's just A&W. Never mind. Okay, I forgot that it has been sold. Thank you for bringing that up, Maxwell. It has been, I think, a year since I've had A&W root beer. I think the one I've mainly had is Mug, which has like a bulldog on the face of it or something. But yeah, no, the ones I'm more familiar with are Bark and Mug. And then 1919 is like the one with like the smoothest taste out of all the root beers. When I was a teenager, my grandma brought me to a bar not realizing they didn't have any drinks for kids. They gave me a really soft root beer, and I spilled it on the school heater. It smelled like root beer in the classroom. Yeah, because that sugar caramelized real nice on that heater. I could see a lot of people hating root beer after that, just smelling it every day. Such bad form, Sister Troll, giving you the fuego. Bring an alien to your last massacre. Won't think you had no respect for your messiahs at all. I think, brothers and sisters, that I might agree with that. A voice rings out across the church. At first you think that it's in your head, the product of whatever weird soup all the competing substances have created. Everyone else hears it too. Chahut goes rigid beside you. Her big vicious smile stretched into an O of shock. Aggression falls to its knees in a clattering wave. Seriously, you've never heard a crowd of people go quite so loudly. Chairs are kicked out of the way or knocked over. Kneeling down, Chahut's head comes to your chest. You and the clown in the hat each push down on one of your shoulders. Motherfucker, get down. Get the deck. You have expect the blood splatters to seep through your dress, but it's just crusty flakes and dry underneath your skins. You. Sister. That your alien? Where the hell is that voice coming from? It's deep and gravelly and probably male. It wasn't even half empty. I got like 7% of that. Ooh. Oh, hold up. What you initially thought was one of Remili's knockoff paintings hanging behind the altar turns out to be a screen, which is now turned into a gray silhouette with horns. Is everyone here bowing to some dude who literally Skyped into clown church and doesn't even have a user pick? User pick. Your Excellency. I won't describe them as my alien exactly. A little too pathetic to really put that much bother to. There's a murmur of agreement from the surrounding trolls. Dang, tough crowd. A long snort of breath crackles in static. Who are you to say who or what is pathetic? Chahat winces. You're all feckless wrigglers without a bean in your think pans. All the lowbloods in here look absolutely terrified, which is nothing new. But for once, they aren't the only ones. Everyone here's afraid, purple guys included. You, come close, little heretic. Let me get a gander. Me? Who? What the fuck do you mean, who, sister? The motherfucker I'm jabbing my point stump at. You share a quick, nervous glance. Your throat bobs visibly. Sir, I think you got that webcam turned off. Oh, dang. Hold up. Hear a lot of rustling and swearing. All of you hang in the awkward limbo of an old person struggling with technology. The screen flickers and you just make out a pair of hulking shoulders. Sir, you've got the light behind you. Never mind the light, motherfucker. You, the hornless one in the rumpus robe. Come closer, child. Oh, you. Of course it's you. Being the main character is exhausting. You come closer to the altar. Although you aren't exactly sure where the camera is, this guy is someone who would be able to tell that even if everyone here wasn't banging him, his voice has a certain quality to it. That's close enough. I'm not trying to look up your snuff, child. Got any notion as to who I fucking am? None, except that it is possibly important. It's a real good time with foreign people get interested in your insignificant ass. I'd swear whose ass is insignificant in this house, you comprehend? Sir? Excellency? How long have you been rambling amongst my brethren? A couple of weeks? No more than a month. How many are here with you? Just you. An alien invasion force of one, all just wandering the countryside. And still pulling an oxygen. Who would have thought someone would have picked their dentation with you by now? Same. You got any muscle definition, wriggler? You show him the gun show, as in you show him how very empty the weapons volume is. Too weak for the front lines, too ugly to fill a pail with. He laughs low and lecherously. Although your strut sticks ain't so bad. Oh, did a giant clown just say that you have nice legs over troll FaceTime? You look at the hut for help, but she's too busy checking out your gams. Alright, so I want you to know, I slammed the keyboard. I have like this plastic right below the keyboard. I slammed off my hand, and then just the text disappeared, so that was fun. Silver, you might have been uncomfortable. Fuego drunk you is pretty zen about it. You're sure it's only a matter of time before you fuck an alien? If it's gotta be a big giant clown, well, so be it. Shooting high, aren't you? Now you just feel silly. You're sure this guy that you aren't really after that kind of stuff. There's only one thing you really, truly long for in this world. What's that, child? Power? Wealth? The right to keep living? Gold? Or chooses your heart just brim with neutrality? Yikes. You realize that everyone in this goddamn church is looking at you, waiting for your answer. So it looks like she wants to grab your shoulders and shake you? Jeez, no pressure. Friendship, you tell him. He laughs long and hearty at that one. You weather stoically. You. Bigger and significantly more attractive motherfucker. The hut comes to attention. What's your caste name, child? Maynard, Excellency. If I understand right, you're about to undergo the ordeals. The hut nods. She looks a little seasick. You're not sure what the ordeals are, but everything about them sounds bad, including the name. Maybe get your shit shot with this one right here. They seem to have the strategy of surviving against all reasonable odds and decency. You could possibly use a friend like them. He jabs another big finger at you. And Wriggler? Don't let me see your face again. The call disconnects and the screen goes blank. When you point yourself toward the front of the church, everyone scrambles to get out of your way. It's like the big clown's attention has conveyed some honorary status on you. Probably nobody will mess with you for Half an hour at least. You aren't really going anywhere, you just need some fresh air before you pass out. Jahud emerges soon after. She looks nearly as winded as you feel. You ask her if she's mad at you, since that could be potentially dangerous to both your life and your budgeting friendship. Mad. Why would I be mad? Because your inexplicably magnetic charm worked on both my best girl and the figurehead of my church. You flush. The real question is, did it work on her? Kahet sighs. What the hell? Old motherfucker told me to listen to whatever it is you can teach. Right, he did. That basically makes the two of your friends by theocratic decree. Yes, so. So, darling, teach me your ways. Well, first of all, you gotta fall down a lot. Wonder if we'll see that the head clown guy anytime soon. There we go. So it was actually her story. Very nice. The little fake out on you. I like that. Kind of how Polypaw, it was the hooded figure. Pope appointed friend. Yep. You're not gonna go against the Pope, are you? In your religion? You know who he reminds me of? The one guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Fuck. Chad. He reminds me of Chad from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Like, he looks like his personality is more along the lines of essentially Yugi, or that. I forgot his. I forget his other name. It feels like a way too long. This isn't even the most anime you got. Yes, very nice. The vehicle slows down, and you take the opportunity to tumble out of your slime jail into the dusty ground, picking yourself up and hurrying away from the station before you can get spotted. A little while later, you're standing at the beginning of a massive canyon, and your awful train ride almost feels worth it. The canyon stretches on endlessly, miles of yawning chasms and winding ravines at your feet. It's enough to make your mouth hang open in awe. Spending so much time in various grody parts of the city, the sight of such pristine natural beauty touches your heart. You feel somehow inspired. Like you could belt out an aria or draw a masterpiece if you tried. Before you can begin exploring your hidden creative depths, you're distracted by noises coming from not too far away. You're not alone. You know what this means. A chance to get yourself more of that sweet, sweet friendship. After so many successful companionship ventures, you're thirsty for more. You pick up your jaw and go investigate. The sound leads you towards a trail along the side of the canyon, which in turn leads you down to a roomy platform not that much lower than where you started. There's a series of sharp outcrops jutting out of the plateau, and perched atop the highest one is a figure dramatically framed against the moonlight. At first, you think he's peering moodily into the distance, but you realize he's looking through some kind of contraption on his face. Recording coordinates. You look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone else here, so what you heard was this fellow muttering to himself, you guess. I see. He's so wrapped in whatever it is that he's doing that he hasn't noticed you yet. This guy has got to be hankering after some company. Being all by lonesome out here in the middle of nowhere, you're sure of it. I go it down. Let's climb up and surprise them. Eagerly, you clamber up to the side of the rock. Oh, wow. This drop is pretty intense, but it's something you can't handle without plenty of determination and frantic scrambling. Try to make it to the top. You're about to haul yourself up so you can stand. Finally ready to introduce... This is probably bad. Introduce yourself and let this guy have with the geniality. Really show him how amicable you can be. Before you can do that, though, he whirls around, trench coat and long hair whipping in the wide arc. All your clumsy scrabbling at the rock face must have clued him into your presence. Did you really think you could sneak up on me? His eyes flash, literally. They flicker from blue to turquoise and back again in quick succession. You didn't notice the pure white energy crackling at his fingertips until they were already in the air. When Cuprum lifted you in the air, it was like getting yanked up by the scruff of your shirt. This is come out smoother, like you just stepped into a strong breeze. Doesn't really change the outcome though. You eye the ground below and view nervously. Think again. Wait, you weren't engaging in any sneaking around, honest. Well, you were. You didn't mean anything malicious by it. You were just after some quality hangouts. Unfortunately for you, he doesn't seem very moved by your heartfelt entreaty. A likely story. You were looking to gain my data to be a fraud upon the game. Don't try to deny it. You don't know anything about any game? Before you can explain any further, you're unceremoniously released. You run through quite the spectrum of emotions as you plunge downwards, but the strongest by far is regret. Regret you'll emerge from this altercation sans the use of your limbs if you're lucky, but also sans potential new friends. Sayonara. Wait and say hello. Sporting your most winning smile, you call out a greeting and give a jaunty wave. Then that gets his attention. Whoa. Would you look at what the pervy strike did? Are you lost? That depends on your definition of lost. You've heard a thing of whatever you're doing as taking the scenic route, just like indefinitely. Your new acquaintance and hopefully soon to be palace stewards unimpressed. It'd be better if you did that somewhere else. Better for me, I mean, which is the most important issue currently at hand. Let's face it. I still have preparations to make, and I'm running out of time. You're kind of cramping my style here. Preparations? For the game, obviously. It's starting any minute now. You have no idea what he's talking about. Seriously. You don't know about dual strikers? Wow. You're more of an empty-headed pleb than I thought. It's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have had a bit of a habit of running headfirst into stupidly... I do not need you right now, Siri. It's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have had a habit of running headfirst into a stupidly dangerous situation, but there's no reason for him to assume your voice is drowned out by a crackling sound. He's levitating down from his perch towards you, sparks of energy swirling the sands up into a cloud. After meeting Sarava and Cuprum, you've come to expect psionic powers from trolls with yellow blood by now, but it kind of takes you aback. Stumble backwards, falling on your ass. The troll is unbothered by your spill, continuing to address you while you're sprawled on the ground. I'll explain. Dual strikers. It's alternating best and brightest against each other in a themed event, designed to reveal the most skilled among the group. Which be me, of course. That goes without saying. Tells you a bunch of other stuff about game mechanics that, to be honest, go straight over your head. He's apparently not in enough of a rush that he can't stop what he's doing to outline his plan to you, some random passerby, in a fairly detailed manner at least. He seems pleased to have an audience, actually. Wow, this friendship is barely even off the ground and you're already doing great. You get back on your feet and nod along sagely, pretending to understand all his ramblings about strategy and whatnot. And then you come to notice a blinking light. It's coming from the screen over his eye. Nani? Interesting. My scouter can't retrieve any data on your species at all. Leans forward and looks at you. Really looks at you. Up until this point, he'd been paying more attention to his own voice and whatever readings he's been getting on his device. But now he's fully focused on you. Ah, it's actually starting to fluster a little. Actually, that is, until his mouth twists into a smirk. You get a glimpse of a single jagged tooth. You know, it's technically possible to join in teams of two. But you're here now. Is he saying that what you think he might be saying? Excitedly, you clarify wherever he's asking you to join the game as his partner. Ah, surely. I just love teaming up with clueless nerds like you. No, you'd be a nice element surprise though. I could use it as a collateral resource. Fodder, I'll lock you. What do you say? That doesn't sound nearly as flattering, but it's an opportunity to help. And you've founded so many great friendships and doing whatever favors random strangers have wanted you to do for them already. Why stop now? Screw this. You know what? You're better than this. Who does this guy think he is? Trying to turn you into his minion. Everyone keeps expecting you to be useless, and you're tired of it. I can't imagine the one you'll do for the dude. That's the joy, Maxwell. I don't know what I'm gonna do either. The enemy can't predict your movements if you don't even know what you're gonna do next. You accomplish great things, you say, stammering your feet, kicking up a real hullabaloo. You're a big deal on your home planet. People practically quiver in their boots when they walk past you. And even if you weren't a big deal, even if you were the smallest fry around, you're pretty sure you could take whatever he could dish out. He's just a reedy nerd asshole. Looks like he fell out of the IT department straight into just got been a bad major cosplay cast off. You have no idea what you're doing. Actually, nothing that you said about yourself is true. You're shooting a hot air and pure vitriol, running on the modicum of confidence you've built up or bluffing your way through the variety of mishaps you've encountered before now. You throw up your hands when you're done, both out of exasperation and a kind of ending flourish to your little speech. There's deafening rumble behind you. When you turn around, it's just in time to see one of the outcrops shudder directly into a pile of detritus. Your eyes go wide. Either the rock was already weakened and chose its moment to break, resulting in the best confidence ever, or you have secret telekinetic powers of your own that you've never known about until now. Whatever it is, it grants your venting session a healthy dose of gravitas. Azagel looks at you with a complicated expression on his face, like he's mad at you, but also like you've just paid him a really nice compliment. What a brazen proposition. What proposition? Your propositioning anything is for him to consider you an equal rather than some kind of sidekick, that's all. Let me tell you something, alien. I've heard through the spherical fruit string about someone else in my line of work who caused quite a stir recently. The lights have been blowing up, saying a gold-blood girl assassinated a sea dweller. I had reason to suspect she'd show herself to here today. I was looking forward to seeing if she's as good as the rumors say she is. A gold-blood girl. That's what the alert says. But as the best mercenary in the business, I know better. Wait a minute. Polypaw did bring up that there is a pair. There's a pair. I don't know. I don't remember if she brought up this guy's. I just know that she brought up like a duo that was like that took some of the best jobs. And I'm assuming he is talking about Polypaw. They must have been wearing a disguise. He points a finger at you. You, despite not being Alternate in origin, have a record. You should up here to a dueling session in a rompous robe and a nub slits. It indicates your flowing gown and heels, which could easily be another disguise so the drone's off your scent. And as you just gracefully demonstrated, you're powerful. You're easily the most suspicious person I've come across here yet. Who would say you're not the mysterious killer? You realize that he's been floating gradually higher and higher in the air as he's talking to you, until he's hovering over you almost predatorily. Shit. What have you done? If it's the fight you want, it's the fight you'll get. His eyes light up in a bright blue beam, and a white blue beam explodes the rock next to you. You turn tail and run, but he falls, trailing along behind you like some kind of angry helium balloon. He doesn't stop shooting at you, and you can feel the lasers rush past you, rustling your hair and clothes as they cut through the air. Gosh, he's powerful. It takes your breath away. You'd be in awe if you weren't busy running for your life. You almost wish you had some sort of device that would measure just how powerful he is. Except no, not really. On second thought, knowing the exact power level would probably be so frustrating that you immediately break whatever device that you call for it. With your bare hand. I get the reference, I watch anime too. Have you guys seen Yu Yu Hakusho? That was a fun one, especially the dub. I like the dub. I like Kuwabara. He was funny. This ride is so cool. This man is just taunting you by just floating just above you. Imagine this guy being real, and every time he wants to show his superiority, he like floats up like an inch or two off the ground and just looks down at you. Have you seen Quest for Kokoro? I don't believe so. I'll look that up. Wait. Segoy quest for Kokoro. I've seen Terezi. Rikku, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Well, it's not like I don't. Well, why am I saying Vrishko with like big tits? And like a Sailor Moon outfit. I'll go down another rabbit hole, that's fine. I mean, it's not like I don't have free time or it's nothing. That's gonna stay in the tabs for when I access later. I'm the opposite of artificial intelligence. I'm genuine stupid. Wait, what? Why the fuck is Pippa using propane for her grill? Like, just do like now she's using charcoal, but what the fuck? Do you learn about the new King of the Hill? I looked away. No. Pippa is mentioning the light, the lighter on her grill broke or whatever. The ignition. Like, why would you use propane? Just use charcoal. It gives it better flavor. I also remember they tried to use the argument that charcoal's better for propane's better for the environment. I can believe that, like, the way we like make charcoal is somehow disastrous to the environment compared to propane, but I don't know how either one are really extracted. Even if charcoal is charcoal, but let's not get into that. Yeah, I remember that was an argument Hank made, was that propane is better for the environment compared to charcoal. Charcoal is a porous, carbon-rich material created by heating wood or other organic materials in a low-oxygen environment. There we go. I wish I had a portable grill, I should say. I remember, I might have bitched about this 2 years ago, but I'm going to bitch about it again. Because a lot of our neighbors are just being absolutely stupid. And one of them even almost causing a fire for the apartment complex. We had to get rid of our grill. And our grill is really nice because we could just leave it outside and not give a fuck. Like, it could be winter, it could be raining. It wouldn't rust, nothing. Like, it just held together real well. And what happened is during the summer, we would grill out and just cook meat there, just have a good old time. But because some people decide to be, again, extremely fucking stupid and have their grills in, like, places you're not meant to and also burning down the building, we had to get rid of it. But the thing was that as soon as the new people took over this apartment, which was just a few months later, like, they kind of said, oh, you can have, there was like no rule change or whatever. It also wasn't written anywhere that says you couldn't have a grill. So now a bunch of people just have grills again, and they also have them in places where they shouldn't be again. Apparently, we're not getting looked at by the fire department just yet, or people started or got smarter. But like, we spent, I think, nearly $200 on this grill, and it was a really nice one. It was a really nice one. Like, if you were here for the first Metal Wolf Chaos stream on July 4th, like, my brother spent the whole day grilling out. Like, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he was out there just grilling. Except no, not really. On second thought, knowing his exact rhythm, as strong as he is, though, you can't help but notice that none of these shots are at all close to hitting you. It's more like he's trying to intimidate you, provoking to fighting back. Won't forget how once I was asked to start the grill, my girlfriend at a picnic. Spent like 40 minutes trying to start it, but couldn't. And then that's where my mom came to help and told me. You fool, it's been on the whole time. I thought the coal was supposed to be on fire. Ah, yep. I could see that, yeah. Because you're thinking, oh no, like there should be some fire on them, and then later you learn, oh no, those fuckers, like, they radiate heat very well. My brother had a very interesting habit of charcoal, lighting it, and then putting lighter fluid on it. He'd do that a few times. I was never comfortable when he did it, but he kept doing it. You have to get away from him as quickly as possible before any of his blasts actually connect. Isn't that how it goes? You only need the lighter fluid at the start. He would do it a few times throughout. Like, and I'm not talking about like after like cooking or whatever to get the heat back up. It'd be like getting the charcoal or the coal ready. Because all you need is like to get the that intense heat once, and it kind of just simmers throughout the whole thing. And then if you need like to cook for longer, just put some more charcoal and then like light it up again. But no, he would just keep going with the fluid. Yeah, from my understanding, you only needed to have it go through them once, but he always liked to do it like noted. I would look this up. I just don't like putting in the liquids more than once whenever I grilled. It was it worked more. It worked well enough where charcoal, lighter fluid, light it up, or oh, I'm looking this up. I do not want to give you bad information. All right. So this is direct heat grilling, ideal for high heat grilling and thin cuts of meat. So high heat of about 450 to 550. So the charcoal needed: one whole chimney, or about 100 of the charcoal briskets, or a light pile about 4 pounds of the charcoals. Light the coals using the chimney method, using a lighter fluid, or using match light charcoal briskets. I'll look that up real quick. All right. So arrange the coal, and then carefully squirt the lighter fluid on top and the sides of the charcoal mound. Usually you need about 10-second squirts for a chimney's worth of charcoal to get proper coverage. Make sure you're using the right amount. Follow your lighter fluid's directions. Light immediately after applying the fluid. Never squirt lighter fluid onto flames or hot coals. How to tell when the coals are ready. After the fluid burns off, the edges of the coals will turn gray with ash. When the coals are mostly covered in ash, they're ready to use. Grab your tongs or use a long-handled metal spatula to spread out the coals. You're ready to cook. So yeah. Stack up the coals, put your fluid on. Because that's the thing, like, he would squirt the fluid on afterwards. That's what always made me uncomfortable. Because that heat can fall back up to the bottle. And that's the dangerous bit. Like, he was very liberal in his usage of the fluid. Yeah, no, it's stack, apply fluids, burn, and then spray them around so you can get that nice coverage of heat for your whole grill. I wish I had a grill again. I wish we had it. I miss it so much. Or you know what? Your scurrying feet have taken you back to where you started, the train station. Would you quit running around like a cluck beast with a severed think pan? You come on to me, and now you won't follow through? Get back here and fight. I don't want to kiss my sis. You seem to manage to both pick a fight and hit on him simultaneously. Maybe he thinks you want that Hateman's Spades thing with him? God. You just wanted to be friends, and then you might have... You just wanted to be friends, and then you might have lost your temper a little. This is all just a big misunderstanding. He isn't listening to you. Another blast zips right past you. Dangerously close to your ear this time. You scan the area frantically for cover. There, a structure near the tracks that looks like it might have some kind of mechanized ticket booth. You dive behind it. I'm growing impatient, alien. Cease this game of hunt and sequester and face me. A beam hits your makeshift shield, blowing a hole straight through it. You stumble backwards, close to the tracks. Oh no. Oh, fuck. This is it? You're going to be murdered in cold blood by a guy who can shoot pure energy out of his eyes. And there's something you do about it. You squeeze your eyes shut, bracing for impact. All of a sudden, there's a distant rushing sound. With all the running and laser dodging, you've forgotten that what the station was even for in the first place. The train is arriving. Maybe somebody on it will be willing to help you? Not like a train seem to have a good track record of helping folks in need out of some goodness of their hearts. Damn it, it's the only chance you've got. Azadja is distracted by the train's arrival for only a moment before turning towards you again. Well, then a figure climbs out of one of the train carriages. A figure that's large and hulking, and one that recognizes you. Azadja? What the hell are you doing? Why are you attacking my friend? Friends? You know this globe's for Sponge? Why didn't you tell me? They're the assassin I've been looking for. What? You idiot. They're no assassin. When I met them, they freaked out over a little blood. They've never even killed before. What? What about their powers? Coney squints at you, like she's thinking very hard about what your more exceptional qualities might be. They're pretty good at falling on their ass, freaking out in the middle of a crisis, and being squishable. Azadja's expression goes, wait. Oh, I forgot. Is she the one? Is he the one that she mentioned? Like, hey, don't mention my mess up about or whatever. He's the strategist. I forgot. Yeah, because I did this on Friday. Yeah. Azadja's expression goes cold. His eyes stop flashing, but he still looks like he could kill you while glare alone. Mayhaps. I think he might be the guy she mentioned. I see. So that's why you were running away. You were lying. What an immature ruse. You can't help but feel a little bad for pulling the wool over his eyes, even though you were fearing for your life until just a few seconds ago. Azadja seems to trust Coney's word implicitly. Now that you've been exposed to nothing but a regular Joe, you seem to have lost all interest in you. Coney, was waiting to think you'd skipped out on this event. Of course not. I missed the Omni Scuttle Caravan, and the desert has shitty receptions so I couldn't call. You know that. That's right. Well, I'm glad. You made it. I'll let myself get distracted by this peon for long enough. Let's go strife some losers. All their nooks in battle and profit. Fuck yes. I'd love to stay in chat, kid. But there's a bunch of calls in that canyon with my name all over them. Later. Oh my gosh. You watched wistfully as they slid off back towards the canyon. If only you hadn't lost your temper and lied out your ass like an idiot, you might have been walking along with them. Instead, you're here alone on the ground, new friendship having slipped through your fingers like all this desert sand. Oh, left alone. You'll be the best lackey ever. The title might not be much, but that doesn't mean you can't excel at it. You can tell him you accept his offer. Excellent. By the way, I'm as the Neelix. But you must have known that already. You're not sure why you would? Maybe some kind of dick shot? Come to think of it, the name does ring a bell. You've heard it before. When you were in the middle of infiltrating a bandit hideout with mercenary Connie. You made my mixed. You must have gone on her good side. Or you wouldn't be standing here talking to me. Because you minced into the ground. Fire than grub paste. He's breathing like he's really proud and fond about Connie being the sort of girl who'd make mincemeat out of someone as soon as she speaks to them. He wasn't talking about her literally murdering you. You might find this reaction endearing. Hang on. Bird has a partner. Why is she here? Azra's expression sours abruptly. My partner isn't here. Because she didn't make our agreed upon rendezvous time. His word partner in an overdone, exasperated huff. As if he thinks she might be listening from behind a boulder somewhere and he can somehow shame her into appearing. You know what Polyphos said about mercenary dudes often being quadrupairs, i.e. romantically involved. Did his girlfriend stand him up? Yikes. Just realized the voice resembles the one Internet Historian does that. God, you saying that just reminds me. The one ad he does. With NordVPN, he's essentially stalking this girl, and she goes to Japan, and towards the end he tries to do a Japanese accent. I would have Pivot read this guy if I could. Hell, I'd have Pivot read the next part, so he could do horribly offensive Asian accents. Because he's really good at that. Because, as I've learned, he grew up with a lot of Asian family as a kid. So, but apparently, his dad, who has of Asian descent, was like had the whitest voice you'd ever hear. But the rest of that guy's family, oh no, like Pivot got first-hand experience on how to make that accent, apparently. Text. Maybe it's better that you hadn't been promoted to partner status if it meant getting involved in another couple's spat. You had quite enough of that already. You hope they aren't fighting. What's your best Pivot impression, Rikku? I didn't do nothing! Let's see. I can't really speak. I do his phrases, though. God, there was a good one this morning where Pivot was no, Bex was yelling at me because she wants me to send her a message when the streams are made or whatever, so that she gets like double notification to make sure she like sets up the bell icon so that she gets notified when streams happen. And only impersonate him whining for the sound of it, exactly. Only when he's whining. And she yelled at me because apparently I sent her the message when the streams were up. The moment she got off of work and like passed out, like the moment she got the message, she passed out, and she yelled at me because because you know she didn't get notified earlier, and then as well, she was an hour late to stream. She said, which okay. So then, all I could think of was that. So I told her, so you're yelling at me because you passed out the moment I sent you that message, and because of that you passed out, and then because of that you're an hour late or whatever. And she's like, yes. And I said, that's like the most pivot sounding excuse I've ever heard. It's like, Rikku, okay, it's not my fault, all right? Like, I was really tired after work, and you sent that message as soon as I passed out. So really, it's not my fault, it's your fault. And that's all I got. The other one that comes to mind is when he was giving shit to the name of my state, which is Minnesota. He goes, haha, what kind of name is Minnesota? And I go, what kind of name is Texas? And he immediately goes, Texas, also known as Tejas, comes from when the indigenous people here were shouting that to the cowboys as they're fighting them, saying Tejas, Tejas. And the Texans took that as Texas. I'll never forget that. This motherfucker went full, like, tour guide and, like, why is it called Texas? In defense, when he's like, what kind of name is Minnesota? What kind of name is Texas? The name Texas originates. I just glares at you. The exact nature of our quadrant, none of your business, frankly. Now come on. We're wasting time. Steps off the edge of the plateau, sending into a crackle of energy and flowing you into the canyon along with him. It's a terrifying ride, but the view of it affords it is pretty amazing. Soon, you reach the bottom. We should keep going. There's someone else in this valley. We'll get the drop on them if we move fast. He grins confidently, his coat flapping behind him. There isn't any wind down here, though. Is he flapping his own coat with his PSI for dramatic effect? First blood to Neelix. You blink. Tentatively repeat. Blood? Yes, blood. He says it the same way he enunciated the name of his competition earlier. Like, it should have been painfully obvious. Look, I told you, our aim is to take out our opposition. Swiftly. And painfully. To win, we have to be the last team standing in this entire canyon. Weren't you listening when I explained earlier? God damn it. You've been proceeding under the assumption that this was some kind of elaborate competitive LARP. Like, solve some puzzles, get out of the giant canyon for the other guy type of deal. Perhaps arm wrestle your competitors into submission if you're into them, but no. This game involves actual violence. You probably shouldn't be too surprised. You've been Alternia long enough to know to discern that, boy, trolls do sure love killing. You've made friends with plenty of trolls who have less bloodthirsty hobbies, though. You asked him whether he's ever considered getting into excessively bodily force poetry, or screaming sick beats. Please, you're kidding, right? Now it's no time for joking around. Don't tell me you're already getting frosty stuff outs. I can't work with someone with such a flimsy sense of conviction. You reassure him that, no, of course not. Your strut pods are as toasty as all heck. But he's no longer paying attention to you. His scouter glints. There. He flashes past you before you can blink, riding the waves of his PSI to a collection of rocks sitting behind you. Target acquired. Nice try, thinking you could outsmart. Me by laying in wait and launching the ambush. Cowardly move. And sloppy. Very sloppy. Now prepared to get owned. Resistance. Hit Futi. Oh fuck. Abruptly, as a death freezes. You hesitate, unsure as to what sort of threat you're dealing with here. But then a troll girl with a cerulean blue symbol on her shirt pops up from behind the rocks. She getting strangled. She giggles menacingly, making Asuda turn back towards you. The expression is blank. His nifty brain power is now under your competitor's control. To echo Asuda's sentiment, oh fuck. You need to do something fast. You have the harebrained thought that maybe you could grab Asuda and physically wrest him from her control. You launch yourself towards them in a mad dash, attempting to call out a chilling battle cry, but it comes out more of a pathetically broken yell. Oh shit. The girl laughs again. Asuda's eyes flash bright, brighter than you've seen so far, almost blinding. Oh hell, those are straight up eye lasers, aren't they? And they're really powerful. Oh shit. You've met some strong trolls, but this kind of power is something else. If Asuda were a character in a video game, and you were to assign him a quantifiable number to measure his power, some kind of level, perhaps that number would be, well, would be very high is all you're saying. Asuda's lasers shoot out at a point above you, scoring a deep gash in the rock and sending rubble down, toppling downwards. You reach out, grabbing at Asuda's coat. You have to get out of here. The girl doesn't stop you, nearly leaping out of the way of the certain doom that's hurtling rapidly towards you. You think you see something out of the corner of your eye, some last-ditch hope at not getting squashed as flat as a grub cake. You race towards it. Your first thought when you open your eyes is that death has finally come to tenderly cradle you in its sweet, loving embrace. But you quickly realize that you're in a cave, not the afterlife. And the reason you can even see anything right now is because the area around you is brightened by a light coming from Asuda's scouter. Through sheer dumb luck, you must run towards the single safe spot in the entire ravine. This hole in the ground. It's as if this hole was sitting here, carved out of the rock, waiting to be your escape route. You might even say this hole was made for you. This hole was made for me. Fuck. You went, covering your ears. But keep it down, maybe? Your nerves are a little shot from almost dying from the umpteenth time this week. No, I will not keep it down. Curses. Don't believe this. Who does that blue blood think she is? Does she realize who she just messed with? Wow, he looks really mad. Instinctively, you reach out to execute that slow face pat that trolls seem to find so soothing, but he slaps your hand away. What do you think you're doing? I already told you I'm a boy rail. You stammer out an apology. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Plus, you thought Connie was his mate's friend. He seems to realize what he just said, and end up yellow touches his cheeks, just barely visible in the light. That's what I said. I already have a mate's friend. Pretty sure you heard him right the first time. I was pretty sure those are two different sorts of relationships, but you let the subject drop. No need to rile up your new friend more than he already is. Your shoe shap might have been rejected, but the attempt seems to snap him out of whatever pissed off funk he's gotten himself into. Let's get out of here. He follows the path of the cave. Can't he just blast you both out? Don't be stupid. If I did that, I'd cause a cave-in. Are you that eager to get crushed? Good point. You're just like Connie. He's ready to rush him about a game plan. If he means this as an insult, its effect is kind of lost. He sounds more wistful than irritated. You walk in silence for a while. As you make sure your way further into the cave, you realize the walls aren't blank like you previously thought, but covered in complicated carvings. Cave troll art, you wonder? I know what you're thinking. That life as a prince among trolls must be enviable one. You snap to attention. Yes, of course. We were definitely thinking about him and his life story just then. I expect someone like you to understand. You're also a completely average person who will live out their life in perfect mediocrity. But not me. You don't know what it's like to be born so gifted. Completely average. Yeah, that's you alright. You try your best to be sympathetic. Having rad powers must make things really hard. What? No way! It's fucking awesome! Well, as you've clearly seen, it can attract unwanted attention from pathetic individuals who aren't nearly as talented as themselves. Who are desperate to have some unbeatable psionics in their corner. To be honest, the Empire's no different. It's not like the Rebels are much better. Connie and I don't really care one way or the other. We're just here to chump and get money. We look out for ourselves first and foremost. But eventually we're set off planning to do bidding of the Empress, just like everyone else. Okay, you can see why Having no say in that matter kind of sucks. Wasn't there opportunity to do cool shit in space too? As face draws up in a wry expression. Yeah, someone else clean all the shots. You keep walking. After what feels like hours, his scatter flashes again. We're here. He lets the wall have it with his eye lasers. With a resounding roar, it crumbles away. Aside from the spot he destroyed, the rest of the cave is intact. Moonlight spills into the space through the impromptu exit. It's over. We were stuck down there for so long the game's ended. Meaning, your heart sinks. This was a disaster. He's definitely not going to want to be your friend after losing this competition he's so invested in. We're the last team standing, which makes us the winners. I knew it. That blue blood loser might have had a stroke of good luck, but she was no match for someone in my station. My victory was a foregone conclusion from the start. Bringing you along was an excellent idea. Your roughness really came in handy back there. He's thanking you. You realize? Or something close to it. Honestly, you assure him that it was no problem. All Prince knows when to give credit where credit is due. Celebration is in order, I think. Once we collect our prize. Surprise? Fuck yes. Dual Striders offer an impressive cash reward to whoever wins. You'll get a cut as well, of course. Well, money? This will be the first time you've laid your hands on the stuff since you crash landed. You'll be able to finally purchase a warm meal? Or clothing that isn't from someone else's closet? More important than money, though, is that you've proven you aren't a complete fuck-up. You've earned Ozdu's trust, and also his friendship. Die shorty. I'm assuming this is the other anime guy, the guy on the right. A faraway land is the nearby pals. Oh, really? EQ, I just want to say, your accents are in really bad taste. All right? I don't think you should be doing these things because, it's just not all right. Okay, I'm gonna need you to step off, son, because that's not okay what you're doing. I'm gonna have to report you if you do the fucking accent. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking end you if you do the accents. Aw. I saw that, Maxwell. I saw that cat sleeping. There's the cat. Put a little tongue out. There, yeah. That's what I thought. All right. I got a tweet in the corner. Man, how horrible can my accents be next volume? We'll learn together. Who knows? One of them might get the whitest voice you've ever heard. I don't really know if I can do a white guy voice though. Maybe make one of them sound like fucking Ned Flanders. do a chat voice. I don't think I ain't got that many voices in me. My range is quite limited. But apparently I do make all the older women love me. The ones who are like 50 up. I still can't believe a woman just came out in a Burger King and tell me that. You know, I'm sure there's some ladies out there who, you know, while they're, you know, cooking or cleaning, you know, in the evening, would love to hear your voice in the radio as they do these chores. I think she was on a date with a dude. She even blew me a kiss. I don't know how to feel about any of that. I don't know about any. I don't know how to. I don't know. True, I was there. True, I was there. You know, I still don't like that she blew a kiss at me when she was on a date with a nice-looking gentleman. He seems so nice, so understanding, and she pulls that shit. And it's like, why? I guess what she said is true. I guess. Then again, we don't really have women over 50 listening to me. We do have people who do like the sound of my voice, though. It was a night. She wasn't wrong, I guess. I got a future in the air. Oh my gosh, there's my guy voice. You're not gonna like what I do next to you, Pally. Yeah, you in one army. Well, why I oughta. There we go. There's the white guy voice I'm gonna use for one of the two Asian characters tomorrow. It fits. Oh boy, why I oughta. You know, that's also the offer at that Mexican restaurant down the road. It's a little spicy, but it's pretty good. But boy, howdy, I tell you, I was having a right old fight in the bathroom yesterday. Ah, geez, that was rough. Ah, golly, the missus had to go get me some. I forgot the name of the medicine for it. How did I forget the name of the medicine? I swear it's gonna be like a week later. My brother's gonna be like, "Oh, what's that? What's that medicine for the stomach?" I'm gonna be able to name it off real easy. But no, for the fucking bit, it's like, what do you mean? You've never had to have stomach medicine? No, it's not Tums. That's your acid reflux. So I am so pissed. It's like when you're trying to find your phone and you're like using your phone or calling someone. So annoying. All right, either way. Thank you all for joining. I hope you guys had a fun time. I let's see, what do I need to do today? Oh yeah, I need to update the thumbnails. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the numbers. I don't think it matters. Yes. Thank you all for coming. Hope you had a great time. Take care. Have a good evening, good day. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye. Why I ought